Welcome back, you degenerates, to the #1 gambling podcast show in the world. I'm back for season 2. This is Betting the Diagonal. Mr. Mo Watts, my friend, how are you?
It's great to be back. We are the BTD boys. What does BTD stand for?
You tell him.
Big Thick Dicks. That's what it stands for. And we are thrilled to be back here bringing you the fire every single day. We have explosive content that we will have all the time for you guys. And we are back to talk NFL. We can't wait. Football's almost here. I'm tired of baseball. Phillies suck. Billy doesn't even like baseball. Mets suck. You know, it's just a wasteland at this point until the World Series. I'm pumped.
I hate baseball. I'm trying to build a quick bankroll, add to the bankroll, I should say, for NFL. I faded the Mets twice. It's been great, but it's been both times. It's nerve-wracking. You don't know. They get a 3-run home run in the 9th, and they don't even deserve to win. They're losing the whole game. Hate it.
Sucks. Or it could be a game that doesn't end until 4 o'clock in the morning. Last night with the fucking Padres and Dodgers going, 16 innings?
16 innings.
Your man's got to sleep. All right, I'm not as young as I once was. All right, yeah. Once that midnight hour rolls around, I start to get a little loopy.
Yeah, there won't be any Shanghai Sharks bets this year. You know,
not yet.
Not yet. No, but for real, guys,
we're doing some scouting. I have a friend over there in China, Ming Wan. He knows a lot of good Shanghai Sharks stats for me, so we got an in now.
You have a friend on the team. Mr. Ben Simmons himself.
He will be there, and he'll probably put up 2 points a game when Jimmy Fredette puts up about 63 a night. Yeah, it's just the way it works, you know.
But that's not what we're here for. We're going to talk NFL, specifically the AFC. Everything between team previews, bets, futures, trends, win totals, props, whatever came to our mind when we're thinking about these teams. This is what we're going for. Let's kick it off first with the AFC East, and Mr. Mo Watts, give me your takes. Let me hear your hot takes.
I was gonna say let's kick it over to the third chair real quick and see if he had any information he
wanted
to throw in.
Mr. Greggy Gersh.
Mr. Gersh.
Peace to the Greggy Gersh.
Oh, Greg Gersh. We forgot that he missed the memo for season 2 starting. God dang it.
Well.
Anyway, it's all fun. It's all fun, Greg, when you watch this. Don't get mad at us.
He's not going to watch it. That's why he's on the show.
AFC East, it's a one-man show in the AFC East. We all know that. It's that division is going to run through Buffalo, and then Buffaloes are going to run through some fucking tables. That division is locked down. The winner will be Bills. Bills at -160 right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook. They're the best team in the division by far, obviously. They have the best quarterback. They have the best defensive unit. They have arguably the best secondary in all of football with Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, and Micah Hyde back there. Two of the most underrated safeties in all of football also. Not to mention, Jordan Poyer's wife is pretty fucking hot. So that's bonus points also right there. So, like I said, explosive offense. The Allen Diggs duo is just dynamite. You know, it's great. Gabriel Davis. Yeah, Billy told me about this guy here. I didn't know too much about him, but possible
I love
sleeper.
Gabriel Davis.
There's fantasy football guys out there is Bill's possible number 2 receiver. Cole Beasley, phenomenal slot receiver. Look out for maybe an in-season trade for a tight end, maybe like a Zach Ertz kind of player. That would be huge for that offense. That's a great team. The Bills are a great team. Is this the year that they finally break through a little bit more, take the next level? It's possible. Well, it's possible.
I haven't committed to the Bills winning the Super Bowl future yet. Have not committed to it like I did last year midway through. By week 3 or 4, I'll be on it.
I have not committed to the Bills, but I have committed to another AFC team, which we will get to.
Oh boy! But as far as the betting trend goes, I will be taking the overs blindly for the Bills all year long. They went 11-4-1 to the over last year, and I don't see that changing. They're going to be blowing teams out, as you saw in the preseason. They won, 42-10 the other night? Come on. Those are the backups, man.
Gotta love it.
You know, I love the Bills. Everybody knows my dear, undying love for Josh Allen. There's nothing like the Bills are obviously the favorites. If I would to take the future for them to win the division, I'll probably parlay it with something else. have a little fun with it, because the minus 160s, it's too much juice for me. I don't like the juice. I like the drink.
Give me a Bills and Chiefs parlay together. Give me the teams that you clearly think are going to win the divisions and everything. Bills division, like you just said, I love the overs for the Bills also. The offense are too strong. The unders for the Jets, Dolphins, and the Patriots because they all suck. They have rookie QBs or shitty QBs who are afraid to dive on a fumble in the Super Bowl, who can't throw the ball any further than 10 yards straight in the dirt. It's a lot of learning curve there and everything. Who's Tua? Is Tua a game manager? Is he actually a guy? I tend to think he's just a game manager at best, if not just going to be a backup. We'll see what happens with him. Jets, Zach Wilson. It's a rookie quarterback learning the NFL stage and everything. He's going to have bumps and bruises along the way. I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback in the pros. But it takes time. You don't usually pick it up overnight like that. Plus, he's from BYU. He's probably not going to be ready for those NFL level defenses right yet. And the Patriots, they stink. They're not good anymore. Cam Newton sucks.
That Patriots defense could be pretty good. They had a bunch of opt-outs last year, and I think this year with the full defense, they could make a run to get the wild card. I don't know if they will. What is their win total again?
It is at 9.5.
That's tight. That's a tight
window. Don't like it.
Yeah, I lean the under by a half. I think they win 9 games, so it's gonna be tight. I stay away from that, but like I said, I'll be like you said. I should say I'll be on the Pats unders for sure. They went 5-11 to the under last year, and they're only gonna be better on defense. So I love to see that 68.8% of the time in all their games to hit the under. It's something I look for. Trent's big build Belichick at home, low scoring games, no wide receivers. I don't think Cam's gonna be the starter week 1 though. So
there's a hot take already right there.
Well, did you see the thing with the misunderstanding with I
saw it. Yeah.
With the COVID, with Cam Newton. I don't know. That seems a little Tyrod Taylor-ish to me. That's how they did to him last year, where they just stuck him in the chest with a needle, pretty much stabbed the guy, sent him to the hospital. It's a similar thing. Like, Cam knew the rules. He got the test. The Patriots didn't know he took the test, even though he sent it in. They said he was an hour late with sending it in or something like that. Listen, they realized the noodle arms got no more sauce left.
Got no juice left.
No more sauce with the noodles.
Doesn't have the legs anymore either. I like the under for the Patriots for sure. They play the NFC South this year as well, so that's a tough division. And even though some time has passed and everything, I love the revenge factor for the Atlanta Falcons in the game when they play against each other. I think the Falcons will put up some points. I think the Panthers can beat the Patriots when they line up together. Saints, I think, will be pretty solid and everything. So, got tough games. They also play the Cowboys this year. That's not going to be the easiest game, as much as I don't want to admit it. The Cowboys are not the worst team in the world. Chargers, a tough game that they're going to play. They got the Buccaneers. Tom Brady coming back to New England. Tom Brady's going to put up 40 burger, if not a 50 burger. He might break the single game touchdown record. He's going out for blood. Bill Belichick might quit by halftime. It's going to be just a bloodbath. But in the rest of that division, I like the over for the Bills at 10.5 right now. I love the over for that one. Division's weak. You're looking at least a 5-1 record against the division, more than likely. They'll probably sweep the Jets. I think they'll sweep the Patriots, to be honest. I think they'll split a game with the Dolphins because the Dolphins do have a very good up-and-coming defense. Another team that has a very strong secondary with Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. They don't have a disgruntled Xavier Howard anymore. They paid him. They showed him the money, and he's going to be out there. Get his solid 8 to 10 picks per season. Byron Jones, fun fact, Byron Jones is like now, I think he's like the 3rd or 4th highest paid corner in the league, and he has 1 career interception. Absolutely wild statistic.
He's one of the most overrated corners.
Absolutely. He should be a safety, but that's a big conversation.
Listen, get your money, King. Get your money, King.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, can't blame the guy, right? I have the Dolphins at under 9.5 wins. However, I think the Dolphins will win 9 games. I think they'll be fighting for one of those last wild card spots, solely because of the Tua factor. If Fitzpatrick was down there still, I would take the over without a doubt. I'm not a Tua guy. It's funny that everyone was trying to tank for Tua last year and everything. And
I did a whole thing on FFD the other day whether tanking actually works or not. So I'm not convinced. You have the Tua thing, a game manager at best.
Yeah.
You have Trevor Lawrence, who clearly can't play under pressure. Joe Burrow. You have to draft a line. If you don't have a line, you're just wasting a pick. Johnny Manziel.
And for the record, this is not a pro Trevor Lawrence show. We both are in agreement that we do not think Trevor Lawrence is going to pan out in the pros and be anything that this football Jesus that everybody seems to think he is going to be.
I listen. I think the kid's got a cannon, but we'll save that for later. Real quick, back to the Dolphins. I agree with the 9.5 under. I do also think they win 9 games. I know you have the over in the Jets win total, which I think is asinine. They could win 5 games, and I think that's a great step up from them, especially because they will have tough competition. As far as trends go, the unders.
It's a heavy
unders for everybody in the division except for the Bills. It's a cold climate weather, especially in December.
Absolutely, and a great prop for the Bills will be to hit the over on Stephon Diggs receptions every game. I don't know what the number was, but I know I played that prop a ton last year, and I was quite successful with that prop. Dude had 143 catches. I believe he had 184 targets, or it was either 184 or 214 targets. One of those two numbers. I know it's a big difference, but in 143 catches, he's gonna get the ball thrown to him a ton. As long as he is healthy, they will feed him. You figure that number alone, that's at least 10 targets a game that guy is going to get. He might have some of the best hands in all football. They will find ways to get it to him. Love that one there. I do have the over on the Jets, though. I think that I said before our pre-show talk, I love a drill sergeant type of coach coming in year one. They're the kind of coach that burns out real fast, but that first year or two, they have the locker room listening to him and ready to go. I think Robert Saleh is actually a very good coach. I think that he actually could have some staying power with them. It's the Jets. They still have a good defense. They still have a strong defense and everything. What will Zach Wilson be? Time will tell. I like Zach Wilson. I think he will be good. I remember when we did our draft show a few months back, I said I wanted Zach Wilson as an Eagles quarterback. Obviously, it didn't happen.
My mind has been changed on Zach Wilson.
I like to hear that.
My mind has been changed on Zach Wilson. I thought he had a great arm. I didn't think he was very accurate. He's proved me wrong on the accuracy. And I thought he was a little showboaty. But then I found out he's now an Islander fan. He was in my feels, tugging at my heartstrings.
Guess we don't have any hockey out there in Utah.
Yeah, just immediately, not even on the practice field yet. He's in the Coliseum, cheering the Isles on. If you had to tell me how the standings will end at the end of the year, give me your 1 through 4.
Yeah, it'll go Bill. It's easier. It's probably one of the easiest divisions. It'll go Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Jets will still round it out at the bottom and everything. They don't have enough offensive weaponry, to work with it or anything. It's going to build. Bills, I think, will finish probably around 11 wins, maybe 12 wins potentially. They have a lot of like I said, I think they'll go 5-1 in the division. They're playing the NFC South. They'll probably go 3-4 against the South. I think they'd actually lose the game against Atlanta because I think it would just be a shootout completely. So I could see that one happening. But even right there, you got 8 wins between that. Then you just have the extra throw in games here and there and everything. I don't know who their other AFC division they play this year is. But right at that number, I think they'll hit around the 11-12 win mark. I think the Dolphins, like I said a little bit, Dolphins I think are going to compete for a wild card spot. They just missed it last year. It all comes down to Tua for the Dolphins. It's plain and simple. Is Tua going to be a guy or is he going to be a Dolphin?
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
it's a great way to put it.
What's going to happen? I would love to say the Jets and Patriots could flip flop spots. It's a bold take to say it. I just can't see a Bill Belichick team finishing last. But I don't know. Strange things happen. This division, I think, is one of the easiest ones to try to handicap and figure out what's happening there. Like, it's pretty cut and dry.
I have the Bills at the top. And like I said before, I think that both the Patriots and the Dolphins both win 9 games, but I do think that the Patriots beat the Dolphins twice. So the Patriots be ahead of them, and then Dolphins and then the Jets. But if you haven't drafted your fantasy team real quick, Corey Davis, draft him. You're welcome. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next. I had to get a little tweak. The entire time I'm trying to find
Stevenson as your number 2.
Hey! No! Don't be saying that. I have 3 drafts this weekend. All my friends listen to this show. I told you that one in privacy.
My number 2 running back.
Next up, let's go over to the AFC North. You have a lot of stuff on the AFC North. I've got one thing and one thing only, and that's Najee Harris is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I have that at plus 800. I love that bet. Trevor Lawrence has no business being the favorite here, especially after the way he's been playing. Najee has the skill set behind him, the great defense that'll keep him from just running the clock down, getting more touches. I think he can personally have a chance to take to lead the league in touches, carries this year.
Are you going to say the rushing title?
No, not the rushing title.
I was going to say,
that offense isn't good. That offensive line isn't good enough for them to win the rushing title, but along with the pass-catching ability, he'll be out in the slot. Listen, man, he's very, very, very talented, and Big Ben knows how to use talented people. So therefore, at plus 800, I can't see any other way because I don't think Trey starts right away. I don't think that the whole Matt Nagy thing we'll get into on the next episode. It's a whole debacle with the Bears that I've been screaming at Matt Nagy at every day for the last 2 months on FFD. The only one that could really any quarterback that I'm really worried about is Zach Wilson. Surprisingly,
oh boy,
that remains to be seen. As far as who's going to win the division, you have the Ravens. I'm personally on the Browns. I think Baker takes a little bit of a step up. He decides that he's not going to target OBJ religiously this year. He's going to be able to throw the ball with ease without having to worry, oh, is OBJ going to be upset? Is he going to be sad if I don't throw him the ball? I think he doesn't care anymore. He's here to win. He showed that last year. I think towards the end of the year he took a big step up. And it wasn't because the OBJ wasn't there. That whole narrative is ridiculous. Like, having him back is going to be an addition. The defense is strong. It's probably one of the best pass rush defenses in the league. They have a young secondary that can be dangerous if they're all healthy. That was the problem last year. They had 3 corners out and a safety out in the playoffs. That could be a different story. The whole playoff last year would be a different story without him.
Sounds like you're saying the Browns were going to go to the Super Bowl.
I'm saying there's a possibility.
That's wild. I think the Browns are going the other way. I think the Browns are taking a step back. I don't believe in Baker. I think that he is going to take a step back. I think he's a game manager at best behind center. He is a more athletic Trent Dilfer, who is going to play with a great defense behind him and have a running game.
That sounds like a recipe for winning a lot of football games to me.
It's a Super Bowl team, I guess. So I gotta look at it that way, I guess. But no, I think this division will go through Baltimore for similar reasons. Baltimore has a top 5 defense, one of the best, and one of the things I absolutely love about Baltimore's defense. And it's very well known. I do not like Baltimore Ravens. I am not a Ravens fan in the slightest bit. I cannot stand them. They are phenomenal at forcing turnovers, whether it's interceptions. They are probably the best. Not even probably. They are the best team at punching the ball out from a ball carrier from behind. That is such an underrated trait and skill that is taught by defenses. And the turnover differential will always go in their favor because of that. Because as a carrier of the ball, you don't think of that. You're not prepared for that when you're watching in front of you, so you don't get laid the fuck out. Ravens with the offense, Adding Rashad Bateman, I love that pick. I was a big Rashad Bateman guy coming out. I really liked him. I didn't love that he was. I think he did. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while now. I know he was opting out. I think he ended up playing, if I'm not mistaken, the year. But I absolutely loved him coming out. I think he was a great pick for Baltimore, coming from a cold state like Minnesota, coming to play now in Baltimore, getting used to those conditions. Lamar.
He is short, though.
Lamar,
He is very, very short.
That's the Ravens' MO, though. Marquise Hollywood
That's
Brown.
my problem with the Ravens.
They don't do the big guys.
My problem is they don't have receivers. Their best real receiver is going to be Sammy Watkins this year. And that's scary.
That's my cousin. Hey, that's my cousin. We love a little Sammy Watkins.
Listen, I'm a Sammy Watkins believer since
I'm
Buffalo.
a big Sammy Watkins stands over here.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. And I think I have in my note, it's with that right there. What's the best friend for a quarterback who's inaccurate and not the best passing the ball? Tight end. Mark Andrews is one of the top tight ends in the league.
He's not. But
he is.
Skill-wise, he's not even top 10.
Skill-wise, he stinks, but he'll put up numbers. He's not the most athletic, but he's going to put up numbers. Lamar finds him. He'll find him in the red zone. He's almost a lock for at least 8 touchdowns. He'll be found down there. Lamar's going to put up 1,000 yards rushing and everything. He'll probably throw for $300,000 or so. What does the offense do? We'll see. What does J.K. Dobbins do year 2? He's the feature back now with Gus Edwards as his 2. Gus Edwards is a hell of a 2. Fantasy vulture, probably. Going to be a fucking asshole because I don't have him. Another one of my running back debacles. Dobbins, what will he do? He was good for Ohio State. He hurt his ankle right at the end there. We'll see if he can hold up with it. Like I said, I think Baltimore's been there. You also got to play the special teams game. They got a great special teams unit, and that's especially in this division where these teams I think are really going to beat up on one another a lot. Special teams and defense are going to go a long way. When you have possibly one of the best kickers of all time, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Rest of the division, I think it's the Ravens division. I don't think the Browns are going to. I think the Browns are going to take a step back. I'm not a big believer in Baker. Steelers will be there. I don't think the Steelers have enough to keep up. I think they're just a little too old also. I think unfortunately their bodies are going to kind of break down a little bit sooner than the Ravens are, where they're just a younger team and everything. I think that's just a huge factor with them.
That's just one player, and that's the quarterback.
That's a big player.
Yeah, it's a sketchy offensive line. I do agree.
That elbow is held together by rubber bands, my man.
I don't think that Pittsburgh makes the playoffs this year. I'm not sure if they do.
I could see that as well. I also think it's a very underrated loss, but I think losing Bud Dupree is going to be pretty significant.
Oh, it was very sad. Very sad day in my life.
TJ Watt is a phenomenal defensive player, but I do not think you'll see him put up nearly the same numbers he has because he does not have that guy on the other side of him any longer.
Yeah.
We said in mock draft show, Najee Harris, I thought was going to be the pick for them. They took him and everything. Would have been a great spot for, I don't even know how to say the guy's name, Aziz Asua or something like that.
Yeah.
Or pass rusher would have been a great spot for him back then and everything to replace Bud Dupree. He goes to a team that we're going to talk about that I'm pretty excited about. We'll get to that next division. But I think it's very possible that the Steelers don't make the playoffs. It's very likely. Will Ben make it to the season? I don't know. We'll see.
If we get a healthy Big Ben and the offensive line shows up, because it's not that the offensive line is bad. It's that they're unproven. You lost Villanueva. You lost another guy. They've never played together.
Villanueva to your rival, too.
Yeah, that was... I don't want to talk about that. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about that. He did have a very bad year last year. He had an all-time low, giving up sacks last year.
If you want it worse, though, Villanueva was a practice squad guy for the Eagles for 3 years, and we never brought him up and just cut him.
Yep.
So, and he turns into a Pro Bowler for someone else.
Just with that guy's size, you have to throw him in the starting lineup. I think.
Not us.
It was ridiculous.
We're too smart to do that.
Yeah.
We draft a Canadian firefighter at age 26 in the first round instead.
Oh man, I can't wait to talk about the Eagles next episode.
It's going to be an only Eagles show.
Yeah, it'd be an hour long shitting on the Eagles and making Mr. Mo Watts very sad.
Closet Eagles fan these days.
I know that you're higher on Cincy than I am. We had this conversation before we started because I saw your bet that you have the over in the win total, which is insane to believe that they're going to win more than 6 games. We broke it down. We disagree that you think they're gonna beat the Bears week 2. That's absurd.
I do think they will beat the Bears.
Don't worry, we'll talk about that week 2 of the show. Listen, that's still one of the worst offensive lines. They did nothing to improve it. They could have draft Penei Sewell. They didn't.
That's that fucker's name. I've been sitting here for the past week trying to remember that guy.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've been talking about it for 2 weeks on FFT.
To the Lions. I could not remember his goddamn name to save my life.
By the way, he looks terrible. He was getting destroyed by third stringers.
Oh, that's what happens when you sit out a year.
But that's neither here nor there. Same thing. Similar case. Jamar Chase sat out last year. He looks like he's afraid to play football now. He looks like he doesn't remember how to catch a football. The ball's going right into his hands. He's dropping it. Right into his hands. He's dropping it. The worst one was in practice where it's not full contact. He knows he's not going to get hit. Over the middle, past the defender's right there. He puts his hands out, puts him down.
The yips.
Yep.
Got
he's
the yips.
afraid.
Got the Todd Pinkston alligator arms.
Yep. I don't like that. They already said he's going to lose his starting job. Joe Mixon, everybody somehow is still high on Joe Mixon in the fantasy community. He still stinks. He's still not a good player. Joe Burrow coming off one of the worst knee injuries of all time, one where they didn't show the replay. They showed Dak's replay 20 times. Everybody remembers what happened to Dak. You have no idea what happened to Joe Burrow.
We don't promote injuries to players here, but
yeah,
even though the Eagles sucked, it was a good day for the Eagles Nation.
Yeah.
Bird gang.
Like you remember how Dak hurt his ankle because you watched it on replay.
It hurt me.
Yeah, nobody saw the Joe Burrow injury. They didn't play it on replays. They just reported it. Oh, Joe Burrow destroyed his knee. Everything is broken. Everything's torn. Complete reconstruction of the knee. The secondary is terrible. One of the worst run defenses in the league. How are they going to win? Tell me, how are they going to win 7 games against 3 of the best rushing teams in the league if they have one of the worst in the league?
I think that Burrow is going to take that second-year jump. Yes, he was out.
You just said 10 minutes ago you weren't a Joe Burrow guy.
I was not a Joe Burrow guy. I am a Joe Burrow guy now. I believe in Joe Burrow. Sorry, when he came out. So full disclosure, I said this Billy offline. I have not, when they came in the draft, I did not believe in Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence. I am still out on Trevor Lawrence. However, I have gone in on Joe Burrow now. I do believe that Burrow is actually better than I expected him to be. I think he will be very good. I don't know what his ceiling will be, but I do think he'll be better than Andy Dalton was for the Bengals at the minimum. Mm-hmm. I do think he will bounce back. I think that, he took his beating this past year. That line, it was god-awful. He also did hold the ball way too long as well in that pocket, so I won't put – the line was shit, but I won't put it all on the offensive line for them. They get back Jonah Williams, who's our left tackle out of Alabama, who they lost for a full year. That is a big get right there. Basically, you're adding another first-round pick to that offensive line in itself with him coming back from injury. That's big. He was a dominant – I think he's a Remington winner at Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's good. He's playing left tackle. He's probably more of a guard because he's got short arms. He's got little T-Rex arms. But, what are you going to do? You can still just push out a little bit. Just let him get into your body.
Yeah, you just can't. Sometimes you have to grow up and stop being a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly. They have invested a little bit in the defense. They brought in Trey Hendrickson out of New Orleans. I do like Trey Hendrickson. I think I do like his pass rush ability. I also am a very big fan of a edge rusher who is over 6'5", just in the fact that they get in the lane of the QB. They are in the eyesight constantly. All you got to do is put your hands up, and it's going to be a struggle for you guys, for someone to see, especially when you have a smaller quarterback in Lamar, who's only 6'2", when you have a completely immobile quarterback in Ben, and you have Baker, who's barely 6 feet. I loved having that taller guy there. Jesse Bates is a very underrated safety as well. I very much like him. I liked him coming out of Wake Forest, so I think he's very nice. He's I think, if I'm not mistaken, a free agent in the year, so he's coming for the bag as well. That offense isn't bad at the same time, though. I think the trio. I think Jamar Chase will be decent. I think he's going through the yips right now. I'll go through them. We'll see what happens.
Auden Tate is starting over him.
Hey, I think Jamar will take that job. Even if you take Jamar out of the picture, you still have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, 2 very strong receivers that I very much like. Tyler Boyd is on my fantasy team. Hope for a great year out of him. Joe Mixon, scumbag of a human being, decent running back. He'll get you 1,000 yards or so. like I said, I think it's a 6-7 win team. Nothing too crazy. I do think they will beat the Bears that game. I think they will split a game with the Browns during the season. I don't think they'll win many in their division, but they have an easier schedule. They play the Broncos, they play the Lions. These some bottom feeder teams who don't have quarterbacks. NFL quarterbacks win. It is a quarterback league. If your quarterback's playing well, you got a shot. You're going to have a chance. So I do like that. And like I said, we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm on unders for every single Bengals game. Bengals were 7-8-1 under last year, and I'm going to be on unders for the Ravens as well because they were 7-11 to the total last season. So I will go unders on both of them as well. But we'll see. It'll be a fun ride.
I will be taking the overs in division play in that.
Yeah, that's
in that comp.
Especially Steelers-Ravens games.
Ravens. I don't. We started like halfway through the season, so I don't remember if I got this through or not. Of like how I like to bet over unders. Usually, if there's two good defenses, the number's somewhat lower because they don't expect the scoring. But when you have good defenses, usually you get turnovers, which leads to better field position, which leads to more scoring and a faster pace. So usually the overs hit. So I like the overs.
I don't know if you talked on an episode, but I do remember you and I talking about it.
I definitely told you.
It was a money bet. It was a phenomenal play and everything. I thought the opposite of it before. I didn't think that way.
It was. I remember the specific game because I told some random guy. Some random guy was on the phone with his friend talking about how they want to drive down to Atlantic City. Quick little story time. And he's like, I just want to place a bet on the under for Colts Titans. I think it was like week 10, week 11, somewhere in the middle of the season. And I was like, that's a terrible bet. In my head, it's a terrible bet. And he's like sitting down eating lunch. I got up to leave. I said, hey, bro, by the way, you want to take the over on that. The next week, me at lunch again. Same guy comes in, sits next to me, goes, yo, bro, great advice on the over. I'm like, that's what I do. Follow Ben Diagonal on Twitter, baby.
Big thick dicks on Twitter.
Big thick dicks on Twitter.
That was just money every time I started playing that. So that was everyone listening right now. Keep that one in the brain. Unless you're betting on the Eagles.
For the most part, especially last year, obviously it varies year to year. This division covers. They just do it. And when they don't, it's by a half point. So Baltimore went 11-7. Our average cover is 2.7. Pittsburgh 10-7. Average is over a point. Cincy just below 0.1. They didn't cover most of their games. They went 9-7. So that would be, they still won. And Cleveland -1 against the spread. So this division knows how to cover games. They know how to stay in games. The games are usually close, except for when you're playing the Bengals, they just get blown out. But I love that. I love that. Let's head down south.
Let's
head down south. Tell me what you love about this division.
I have one of my top Super Bowl plays coming out of this division as the division winner. The Tennessee Titans at +3 grand is my Super Bowl pick for this year.
I like that too.
I think so. As I am now a closet Eagles fan, I have fully embraced the Tennessee Titans as my AFC/1B team that I will actively root for, so nobody knows that I'm an Eagles fan anymore.
You should have hopped on the Bills bandwagon, buddy.
Nope, we're going to Tennessee, man.
Listen, I accept Tennessee. I already have that bet in, actually.
Love Tennessee. 3,000. Far and away the most complete team in that division. Tannehill is an elite quarterback now. He proved last season that it was not a flash in the pan. That little audition he had at the end of the 2019 season. He was phenomenal last year. They added Julio. Yeah, Julio's older, but he's still a hell of a receiver. Yeah. If you're telling me you can put Julio, maybe not 100% Julio from the years, but 80% Julio to A.J. Brown, to King Derrick Henry, come on. That offense is going to be filthy. And they have a phenomenal offense line. They're getting Taylor Lewan back, an all-pro left tackle. Yep. That's going to be huge in its own right there. That's awesome. Their defense is the thing that held them back last season. their defense sucked. It was one of the worst defenses in the league, which was funny as could be because the year before they had one of the best defenses in the league.
Varies year by year.
It does. And this, to me, that means this is going to be a defense year. They're going to be strong. And I think Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach. And I think he won't allow
top 3 coaches in the league.
I would be right. I would agree with that. Yeah. I put Andy Reid up there. Probably Andy Reid, Belichick, maybe Vrabel.
It's Belichick, Reid, and then Vrabel. It is. But
I wasn't. That's why I ended the semantics.
Yeah. I know what you were doing. I knew what you were doing.
Jeez, guy here. The defense is what it's all going to come down to at the end of the day. They've gotten rid of a couple of their old guys. They let Adoree Jackson go, who got a ridiculous amount of money from the Giants that he is not worth in the slightest bit. So they changed some things up. They still have some very nice players. They got Kevin Byard back there, still at safety. He's really strong. I very much I can't fucking remember the guy's name. He's a defensive end hybrid outside linebacker out of Boston College. It'll come to me. This is his 3rd year in the league. He was projected to be a first-round pick the year he got drafted. He fell to the 2nd. I think he's going to blow up this season. He's going to be huge. They're getting younger on defense. They're getting faster, which is also huge, really big. Plus, they're in one of the worst divisions with the two bottom 2 teams. The Colts are a good team. They're not on the same level. Quarterback play is going to be a problem for the Colts. I can go against Carson Wentz now. He's not my guy. I love Carson.
No.
Not my guy.
No. We are not doing this. We're not doing this. We could save it for week 1 if you'd like. I am not getting into a Carson Wentz debate.
No, we're not getting into Carson Wentz.
I have screenshots. I have video proof. I've got voicemails. I've got everything. I have handwritten letters. I've got, everything you need. Emails and all. Carson Wentz. It was always everything he said. P.S. Carson Wentz, comeback player of the year. Lock it in.
Yeah. When I do you remember when I said that? I completely forgot that Dak Prescott existed. So I kind of tend to tune out any Cowboy talk into my life. But I mean, the division is weak. The Jaguars. I guess we already stated a little bit earlier. I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy. I'm a Gardner Minshew mania kind of guy. Gardner is my
doppelganger. By his former haircut.
That's right. That's my doppelganger on a good day. We could wreck some Miller Lights at a bar, him and I together. Jeez. Put on some jorts. We'll have a good time. Texans are an absolute dumpster fire.
I didn't write one thing about the Texans. There's no need to talk about that.
That organization is a disaster. That Deshaun Watson cloud is going to loom over them the entire season, and that is just going to destroy what they have. Tyrod Taylor, he's a good backup quarterback. He's not a good
Tyrod guy, but he's not going to do anything with that offense.
But I don't want him as my starter unless I have a bridge guy, and I took a first-round guy. Davis Mills, they took last year this past year in the 3rd round. Nothing. You're not finding very many good quarterbacks in the 3rd round. Russell Wilson was an aberration.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, like I said, going back a bit, he's going to die. He's going to get killed. That offensive, we think Cincinnati's offensive line is bad. Jacksonville's might be worse. They have spent a ton of money on their line, and they just suck. Cam Robinson, who they franchise tagged and is now, I think, making like $21 million, might be the worst left tackle in all of football.
Yeah, he's terrible.
It's a shame. That's what's kind of sucked. I don't really like, like I said, I don't like Trevor Lawrence, but you never want to see a guy get killed.
Yeah.
And he's going to get killed.
I need him. I do have to say I need him for a personal bet with multiple friends, I should say, actually. I have multiple steak dinner bets that the Jaguars, won't make the playoffs. That's for 2 of them. Insane easily steak dinner at Peter Luger's. You know what I'm saying? And then the other one is that they don't win 9 games. But for one of the steak dinners is if Trevor Lawrence is out for more than 3 games, it's a wash. I need him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So
Trevor, he has his mobility. I don't think he's going to stay healthy. I think he's going to get hit. He took hits at Clemson. The one thing, he had that amazing talent around you. You start to rely on that amazing talent. Everybody in the NFL is the same talent. It's just what do you do with it and everything. These are the best of the best. These guys are all from those top Division I schools for the most part.
You're not playing in the ACC anymore, buddy.
You're not beating up on Virginia Tech or Virginia anymore.
Half these kids went to Alabama, buddy, and you got your ass kicked.
You got the big boys coming in now. Jaguars for me, I do think they will hit the over on their win total.
No.
But my boy Gardner's coming in. My boy Gardner's going to come in and take that team.
See, that's actually good thing I didn't put that bet in yet for like myself, like as far as my
level
betting preferences go. That's smart. That's Gardner a smart thing, but they can't do that. They won't do that.
I did not know Gardner Minshew in his career, his touchdown to interception ratio is 36-10 in his 2 seasons. Not a bad quarterback. He protects the ball pretty damn well.
Yeah. He doesn't fumble.
I would take Gardner Minshew as the quarterback of the Eagles in a heartbeat. I think Gardner's – it's actually a shame that they got the first pick because I think Gardner could be a successful starting quarterback in this league. Might not be a Pro Bowler, might not be an All-Pro, but I think he could be a Brian Fitzpatrick type of guy who could just last for a long time and have that magic that comes out every now and then.
Mm-hmm. I think he'd be great on the Broncos. I think he'd be phenomenal on the Broncos. I think that offense has too many weapons. Like we'll get into that next episode. But just real quick, because we're talking about Gardner, he's got the arm to throw the ball deep. He's mobile. He can hit all of those receivers to tight end. That defense is good. They could be real contenders. And I think he's better than Drew Lock. But
1,000%. And the thing that Gardner Minshew has, he's got that moxie. He's got that quarterback moxie, right? Yeah. He'd be great in Denver because who else had that moxie? Mr. John Elway had that moxie, right? That could be, you have Peyton, you go Elway to Peyton to Gardner Minshew.
But that moxie is like Jacksonville moxie. Those jorts are trash
like bags, and I love
definition of Jacksonville.
Those are my kind of people down there.
They're
blasting their country music, wearing their jort overalls with no shirt or anything, a little American flag bandana, beer in each pocket, crushing cans on the skull. Oh man, those are salt of the earth people.
Mm-hmm. So you've changed my mind on something I was going to lock in officially for the show. Not changed my mind. I'm just undecided. I'll think about it overnight and we'll come back to it because we're gonna record again tomorrow night. I had the under and the win total. I'm not sure, but I don't.
Next level thinking.
It is next level thinking, but they're not gonna pull Trevor. I don't think they do that. I will say
Trevor gets pulled, but I think Trevor's knee is gonna go pop.
Yep. If there was a prop bet anywhere, any of these weird sites that you could see, ask who you can bet on who gives the most points, it's going to be the Jaguars.
Oh yeah,
they're going to give up an average of 30 points per game. I think Urban Meyer, as good of a college coach as he may have been, he's so out of his league right now.
Oh yeah, I mean we saw with Chip Kelly. You can't.
It's Chip Kelly 2.0.
Transition, especially, I think the transition works for smaller coaches from a little bit smaller programs. The big guys, the Chip Kelly, the Urban Meyer, doesn't work. Matt Rule, I think it's going to work in Carolina for Matt Rule.
Yeah, because he's quiet. There's nothing going on over there.
Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern head coach, I think he would be a hell of an NFL coach. He just signed a massive contract extension in the offseason. He's not coming anytime soon. I think he would be a phenomenal, smaller school because you got to do things differently. You don't have those top athlete guys. Urban Meyer's used to having those top guys. You don't have that anymore. Those guys don't exist. Tim Tebow ain't coming out of that locker room. You just cut Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm. Thank God they cut Tim Tebow. I gained a little bit of respect for Urban Meyer when he did that because that was the biggest joke.
For over a half a touchdown for Tim Tebow for the season.
Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Gotta love it. That one, it's amazing. I never thought I'd have an NFL bet end before the season actually started. But
hey, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
It picked up. So what are you going to do? But yeah, this is the Titans division.
Yeah. I that's a bet I've already placed as well. Titans to win division -125. It's not too much juice. It's essentially even money. I think it's pretty clear that they're the best team, especially because I don't trust Carson Wentz one bit. He's made of glass. He had a little twinge, and then he had to go get surgery. First off, I want you to tell me what a twinge is, please. I gotta say, is that a Philly thing?
My favorite part about that injury, though, is when everyone said he's out 8 to 12 weeks or whatever. As soon as Nick Foles had his press conference talking about Frank Wright, Carson Wentz is back at practice the very next day.
Yep.
I'll be back.
I saw that.
Which is great for me in Philly because that gets me my first-round pick next year.
Listen, he's so inconsistent. Thank God that they're a defense first, run first team. JT, I think, will light up the Jaguars. Will light up the Texans. Texans the worst team in the league against the run. Jaguars are second worst team against the run. There's a lot of run yards to go. Like if you can find a prop for overs during those games for JT, I love those. Same thing, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry put up 250 yards against Houston Week 17 when it didn't even matter last year. Like those are things like
an alternate prop. Derrick Henry over 2,000 rushing yards.
I don't like that. I don't know.
He's going to put up 1,000 just against those two teams.
That's true. That's exactly what he did last year. I owned him all year last year, and I'm like, look at this division. It's so bad because the Titans couldn't stop. The Colts had a tough time stopping the run against him last year too. So, that's a good defense, but I think the Titans are a little bit more well-rounded. They have the better quarterback. Although Tannehill does have the COVID, he should be back way before the season starts.
Yeah, he'll be fine. They got my boy Matt Barkley as the backup, and he's been playing great this season.
Absolute stud. Fun fact about Ryan Tannehill for you fantasy lovers. This is why I told you to draft him.
I haven't.
I know. There's only 2 quarterbacks since Ryan Tannehill got the full-time starting job over Mariota that have scored more fantasy points for them since 2019. Name them.
Since 2019?
Yep, and it's not Mahomes.
I'd say Lamar.
Uh-huh.
Russell Wilson.
Nope. Lamar and Josh Allen, and that's it.
Josh Allen.
He's the 3rd best fantasy quarterback in the last 2.5 years.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Glad to have him on my roster.
I told you, right? Yeah, I told you.
Maybe can he play running back for me?
No, he can't. No, he can't. That was your own doing, not knowing the rules.
Yeah, that hurts.
Do you have any win totals?
Yeah, before we wrap it up, they're one of the unders I like. I do have all the unders on the Colts games, though, as well.
Yes.
With Wentz beat up, Quentin Nelson, all-pro left guard, is really beat up as well. That's going to affect that running game with Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack big time. Also, they're going to have receiving. T.Y. Hilton, he's an old dude now. He's not as fast as he once was. He's still small and everything. Zach Pascal, he's a nice receiver. He's not a guy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy, bro.
You're not that guy, pal.
So I think they're going to be short on everything. And like we said, Wentz is glass at this point. It sucks. I like Carson Wentz, but he's toast. But yeah, totals. For some reason, the Colts have actually opened as the highest win total in this division, which boggles my mind. But I have them at 10. I'm taking the under big time on the Colts. I don't think – I don't want to say it. I don't think Carson's going to make it through the full season, unfortunately, which is going to hurt me for my draft pick. I don't think their offense can do much. They have a great defense, but you still got to score some points, right? I think it's very possible that the Jags and the Texans could even steal a game from them because the Colts can't score.
No.
Maybe more the Jaguars and the Texans.
No.
I have the anyway. We'll get into that later.
Now you're getting crazy on me.
Hey, you got to be crazy. That's the best part about gambling. Got to be a little crazy.
Boy, it's wild. They'll cover.
Over on that Jaguars, over at 6. Like I said, I think Gardner is going to come in for an injured Trevor Lawrence at some point. Big Gardner Minshew guy. I always got to pull for my boys back home. My twin, I'm always looking out for him. I think they will hit that over on that one. I think with Gardner under center, if things play right too, maybe a second wild card berth they could go for. 9-win team.
I'll take the under and Gardner starts. It's just not going to happen. Without an injury, it's not going to happen.
We'll see what happens. I'm going to take Texans over 4.5 just because you got to win 5 games.
No.
Yeah,
No, they don't.
I don't want to, but I feel like it's just the way that parity in the NFL, and from time to time, you have to back your way into 5 wins. It's the lowest number.
Tell that to Jacksonville. Tell that to the Jets. Tell it to Houston last year.
I agree. It doesn't make any sense or anything, but there's so many toss-up stuff that, like, when you have your lock games for sure, there's crazy things that are going to happen throughout the season. It's just
Houston, Jacksonville play week 1. Who you got?
Jacksonville. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. It's tight. I'm not touching that game. I'm not touching the spread on that game.
probably touch the under, and that's it. I'll take
Yeah,
the
it's
total.
the under.
That's it.
That's a sneak peek for week 1, boys and girls. We're taking the under in that game.
We're heavy unders week 1. And then the last total, that one, Titans over 9.5. I think the Titans are going to win at least 12, maybe 13 games. Like I said, I have the Titans as one of my top Super Bowl picks right now. Not just gambling wise, but I think they can actually just win the Super Bowl. So
it's a decent number for them to win the Super Bowl.
That's a phenomenal. Yeah, plus 3,000, great number to get. Get it early, get it hot while it's now. Again, they're another team that's not afraid to make a deal. I can see them dealing for a defensive player about a deadline or something to help them out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I like that. I will say real quick regarding over-under trends from last year. Obviously, like I said before about covering games, same thing goes. Each team, there's so much rollover with players and whatnot, but all 4 teams were at least 50% in over-unders. Tennessee went 12-4 and 1 to the over. Indy went 10-7 to the over, and both Houston and Jacksonville went 8-8. A little something to look out for.
Interesting.
2 good defenses, right? 2 good defenses, both hitting the over.
Love
Bad
that.
Defenses not hitting the overs as much.
Not hitting them.
Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, you know.
I don't know. I mean, we're next level stats guys here at Betting the Diagonal. Or
big
thick dicks. We are
not
really
going to catch on.
We are. Oh, I'll find a way.
No.
I'm good at this. It's just like fucking Oral Roberts. We'll make it happen.
Oral Roberts is too easy.
Hey, it's always easy when you're talking Oral.
By the way, Oral Roberts boys are coming back.
Let's do it.
Back this year.
Can't wait. I'm going to put a future in for them to win the title.
It's interesting.
All right, let's head out. Let's head out west. Let's go chill out on the coast. AFC West. Is this a runaway division? What do you think?
It's closer than many think. I do think that Kansas City still wins. I know I like your pick with the Chargers. I think there's value in it. My question always is and always will be, can the Chargers stay healthy on defense? Offense, they usually stay healthy. It's defensive side of the ball. There's something about LA and San Francisco that everybody just gets hurt. I don't know what it is.
It's in the water out there.
Weak bones in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't eat meat like us us East Coasters.
A bunch of vegans out there.
Stuff out there. We put meat in our bones. They got tofu on their bones.
We have protein in our water, bitch. The Chargers secondary is like the San Francisco 49ers backfield. Every week there's an injury. No matter what, there's just another injury. And, you know, if Derwin James stays healthy all year, you said it before the show started, I think it's a sleeper pick for Defensive Player of the Year. I think that they do have a chance. Justin Herbert, year 2, step up. I don't see regression. I said that on FFD last year that Justin Herbert was the best quarterback in that draft class. And both Sean and Mike laughed me to death. I had 2 hot takes last year. I had 2 hot takes. It was Josh Allen to win the MVP.
Close. Close.
It took a record-setting year by one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time to beat him. And then Justin Herbert's the best quarterback in the draft class. It went 2-0. I call that 2-0.
I call that a win. That's a win in my book. You get one of them, it's a win in my book.
Yeah. For the Chargers, that's what all it is if defense can stay healthy, they have a shot. But it's still Kansas City's ball game. They only got better. They beefed up that O-line this offseason. Defense is good. They got Patrick Mahomes. Anybody forget about him?
Oh, you need sometimes.
Nah,
quarterback league.
It's a quarterback league. Yeah, one of the fastest guys on the planet.
And even when he goes out with injury, they got a pretty decent backup. Matt Castle's not that bad. Or not Matt Castle.
No, it's Henne. Chad Henne.
Chad
one of the greatest backup quarterbacks of all time.
I think Town Pride actually played against him in high school.
Oh boy.
Lit us up.
I'm sure he did. What's their win total? Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, it is right at 12.
It's tight. That's tight. Do you think they go over?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then how do you find value in the? Do you think Chargers are going to win 13 games?
So I have the Chiefs winning the division. I think I have the Chargers as a sleeper to win the division, and in my note, it literally says a lot has to go right for the Chargers to win this division. You're talking Mahomes needs to get hurt. You need to have multiple big injuries with Kansas City. Herbert needs to take a next step. He was phenomenal as a rookie. Needs to take a next step even further. He needs to take that Josh Allen leap now if it's gonna happen. Defense has to get there and stay healthy. Derwin, like I said, Derwin James. I love Derwin James. When he got drafted, I wanted the Eagles to take him. He didn't make it to the Eagles.
You want the Eagles to pick any good player.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't I want?
You can't just have everybody.
I could. I do in Madden all the time. The big thing that I'm worried about is injuries with the Chargers. It's Keenan Allen has injury history. Austin Eckler coming off pretty big injuries this past year. You know, they're relying on their offense. They have a young left tackle, Rashawn Slater, that they're going to be relying on to take on some big boys out there in the West. Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Clelin Ferrell's coming after him. Max Crosby and with the Raiders coming after him. Von Miller.
I like Crosby.
He's pretty good. He's not too bad. Bradley Chubb. Like, there's good pass rushers in that division. So there's a lot that has to go right for the Chargers. But I like the Chargers. They showed a lot of fighting games last year. Yeah. And even when it looked like they were out, they fought, and they didn't let them get out of it.
That's the Anthony Lynn special, though, and he's no longer there. The Anthony Lynn special is to make sure you're losing the game and then have your quarterback just come this close. He did it for so long with Phillip Rivers. He did it with Justin Herbert. Nothing changed. He just loves that last-second heroics play.
He's a tease. He's a tease.
Nah, I don't know much about their new coach. I think that
I'm going to be honest, I don't know who their new coach is.
I'm blanking off the top of my head. That's why I didn't say
I'm actually looking it up.
Look it up for me because I'm completely blanking.
Brandon Staley, former offensive coordinator for the Rams.
We'll see. I do think
defensive coordinator. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's defensive coordinator. Former player as well. What's the over/under for the win totals for Vegas? That's it. I don't have them in front of me.
I have Broncos at 7.5. I have Chargers at 9, Chiefs at 12, and Raiders at 8.
Raiders and Denver both under.
Well, I have Raiders over. I think Raiders.
John Gruden cried. He admitted to crying over Khalil Mack. I don't trust a coach who cries and has no idea how to run an offense.
When I have Joel Madden doubling as a front man in Fallout Boy and quarterbacking the Raiders, my guys, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna put on a show after. I'll jump to the Raiders in a second and all, but I do like. I think they're gonna hit that over. Broncos is the easiest under. I think the Broncos actually might get the first overall pick. I think they are the worst team in football.
That's what it was. I was trying to right before we started recording. You said somebody who we were talking about tonight was gonna have the worst record, and I found the prop list, but now I have to look for it again. Now I know who it is. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up because it wasn't a bad number.
How bad can Drew Lock possibly be to lose the job of Teddy Bridgewater? And I made sure I wrote in my notes.
Plus 2,200
to get the first pick.
To have the worst record in the NFL.
Love it. Lock it in.
It's not a bad line.
Give me that right now.
That's not a bad line. The Eagles plus 1,300 ain't bad.
Oh, I love that too. Give me it.
The Giants plus 2,200 is a phenomenal line. I really like that, but we'll get into that more next week.
The Eagles are.
Let's continue, just because I knew it clicked in my head like halfway through the show.
But yeah, so I'll just run through it and everything. Broncos, they're trash. They stink. Their defense is getting old. Von Miller is getting close to contemplating retirement and everything. They just don't have it anymore. You got great weapons on offense. Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler.
It's one of the most talented receiving corps in football.
Noah Fant, Albert. I'm going to butcher your last name.
Alberto, baby.
Abajababo, whatever it happens to be. They have great weapons. They got nobody to throw the ball. Plain and simple. Their backfield's not bad. Teddy Bridgewater is what he is. He's not a winning quarterback. Drew Lock, it is what it is. He stinks. Drew Lock, congratulations. You got a smoke show girlfriend, absolute dime piece. You're not a quarterback. You stink. You should just try to convert to tight end now, like Tebow did 12 years too late.
My light
turned
off.
I'm gonna say you just lost some lights.
Turned off. Hold on. Anyway, I will say that he handled it very well.
Our man's here forgot to pay his Pico bill this month.
No, I had it plugged into something else, and it's a USB port. I'm just gonna plug it back into the computer. My computer was getting quite hot, and I was like, "Oh man, I might blow up."
Our special guest host Jared just tired out running the hamster wheel currently that powers the basement.
That's my co-host
really
Mike Hartley,
exhausted.
aka Hamster Mike, aka Girdle Turtle. Yeah, I know you really like that.
But yeah, we'll get back on track. You're gonna get me way off topic. Broncos, like I said, they suck. Chargers, I like the Chargers over 9 for sure. I do think the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to make the playoffs. I think they will, at the minimum, be a wild card team. They could compete for that division. Like we said, a lot's got to go right, but I think they could definitely be a wild card. Chiefs over. They're just too good. They're going to roll through some of that division. They're going to win 2 against the Broncos. They're going to probably win 2 against the Raiders. I think they might split 1 with the Chargers, where they're going to go 5-1 in the division. They play the NFC East this year as well. That's 4 wins right there. There ain't nobody in the East who's beating them. The Eagles aren't beating them.
That's not true. Dallas will beat them.
Dallas ain't beating the Chiefs. No shot. Dallas' defense
still
sucks.
Get into a shootout. It's possible. They're going to have to be in a shootout. It's possible.
Chiefs have some semblance of a defense, though. Dallas doesn't.
That's true. I'm just saying if it goes to a shootout like 50-51 like we saw games last year, it's a
amazing game to watch. That is a hardcore over. I don't care if it's 2 explosive offenses. Over all day in that one.
Listen, you never know. You never know. That's what makes the NFL the hardest sport in the world to gamble on.
Sorry, I'm getting a FaceTime right now also. And it's
you just froze. You froze on my screen.
All right. Let me just click that. Am I back?
Not yet. It's all good.
Coming back. I'm still here. Everybody.
I know you're still here. The audio is the only thing that matters, buddy.
Any of you all want to see my beautiful mug and everything, check out the new hair.
It's actually frozen on a phenomenal screen. You look like a male model.
That's what we're talking about. That's the type of energy.
I'm saving that. That's going to be used as the thumbnail right there.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's going to be my Tinder profile picture.
I thought it was going to be your Grindr profile picture. Hey, ho.
Play on Fridays.
It's Saturdays for the boys, buddy.
Hey, that's a good point. I didn't think of that part. That's not bad. That makes some sense. Last team in that division, Raiders. I do have the Raiders over as well. Over 8. Honestly, I think they're probably going to push at 8. So what the fuck? I'm not gonna. I'd rather. You only live once. Bet the over. So give it a shot. And everything.
It's something I wouldn't touch.
No, I won't. I already told you I have a bet on every single team total. It's not a big bet on that one. I think it's going to push at them having 8 wins probably, but life's too short to bet the under, baby. Give me that over all day.
That's very true.
What I do love in this division, though, I will say, is the overs. Everybody except for the Broncos for obvious reasons. Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders are two of them are 2 of the most explosive offenses in the leagues. And the Raiders were the best team to team totals last season in the NFL, 12-3-1 for the season. And they added Kenyon Drake, and they have a healthy Henry Ruggs coming back now.
Yeah, but the thing is Gruden going to know how to use them? The answer is no.
Probably not. No. But again, life's too short to bet the unders, baby.
It's
Throw me it. I want over points. I want over win total. Give me it.
We'll see. I do like the overs for that team. They cannot stop anybody, especially in the secondary. It's one of the worst in the league, especially in that division. Fun fact about Teddy B, he's a great game manager, knows how to get the ball to receivers. So there could be some high-scoring games there down in Denver. I would not be surprised because they have a good defense. He does know how to move the chains. He's never gonna throw a 60-yard bomb. He's never going to wow you with his arm. But what he will do, he can win you a couple games, but he'll keep you in games. He will always keep you in games, and for an over, I love to see things like that.
Yeah, I like it.
We got anything else?
Yeah, only thing I have left, I have conference winners. I just got some numbers that I'm playing. Obviously, my big one, Titans, plus 1,500 to win the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs are probably going to win the conference, but plus 250. Yeah, it's positive money, but it's not. It's good. Maybe I'll throw something there just to make up something if I lose later on down the line. Chiefs plus 250, Bills plus 500. Those are great bets. My number one, obviously, like I said, is that Titans plus 1,500. I also don't hate the Chargers plus 1,600. Long shot, but stranger things have happened.
That's a long shot.
It's a long shot, but there's always teams that come out of nowhere from somewhere.
I will say the Bills probably have the best value, especially if we do think the Chargers stay somewhat healthy and their defense does get better. And say they take a game from the Chiefs, all you need them to do is go from 13 wins to 12 wins for the Chiefs, and I think Buffalo takes the conference. And I have plus 600 on my book, so that's a decent number. I do like that. No love for the Jaguars. Plus 5,000 there, Mr. Mo Watts? No love?
Oh, no. It's actually going to go to the Texans plus 15,000 instead.
Yeah.
We'll sprinkle a little.
1,500, not 15,000. I wish it was 15,000.
It is 15,000.
No, it's 1,500. To win the conference? 140. Yeah. I have 1,400.
1,500. 2
zeros.
The Texans.
Oh, the Texans? Fuck the Texans.
Yeah, we're going to put a little $10 bet on the Texans to win it. Take that conference. We win that bet, baby. We're buying Vegas.
They might never let you come back to Vegas if you place that bet.
That's because I know things.
Yeah, you know things that you shouldn't be doing.
Hey, what are you going to do? Here's what it is.
You'll be under federal investigation after that one hits.
We're going to have our third chair is going to be my favorite FBI agent sitting next to me. We are a tandem duo over here.
Oh, I love it.
But that's what we got for AFC. Bill, you got anything else left for AFC talk?
No, that's it for me. I have a lot of notes for NFC. I think there's much more value in the NFC this year. So stay tuned for next week. Well, not next week, but that shit will drop fucking Sunday.
It'll come out. Yeah, so
it'll come out.
Who'll be watching this and get ready to listen and everything. We will be recording NFC tomorrow. Give us a nice little good night's sleep. Go to work. Billy will wake up at 3:00 in the afternoon. I'll be up at 5:00 in the morning. It'll be fun. I'll be miserable all day. He'll be like, "How's work, you loser?" It'll be a good time. We'll do some NFC.
So mad.
Yeah, we'll do some NFC talk. We'll put our Super Bowl picks in there. Maybe some player props, who we think is going to win some awards and everything like that. As we move into the season, we're going to get back to our 2 episodes a week for everybody. Give you some good fire content. We will have college football Tuesdays, and we will do NFL Thursdays for everybody. So we're getting everything out there because I love me some college football.
And if we ever have plays for the Thursday night game, we'll obviously put them out on for the
Yes,
Tuesday
we will
episode.
get them out there with the Tuesday guys for everyone who wants to listen to them, watch us shoot the shit about some Jacksonville Jaguar, Houston Texan Thursday night football out in London or all these other nonsense places.
At 9 a.m. on a Thursday.
9 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, sitting there having my 4th cup of coffee in the office, watching football. Not a bad gig.
That was like the afternoon game on a Wednesday last year. It was absurd.
Love it. Absolutely love it. We will have when the Nickelodeon game comes, though, we will have a special show. We are big MVP fans.
We should go live for that show. That was so unbelievably awesome.
I will absolutely do a live show for the Nickelodeon game the whole time. We will have our own slime cam. Maybe we'll bring Jared in studio. We'll slime him with every touchdown. It'll be great. We'll have a good time. So we're gonna have a lot of fun this season, though. Season 2, we're bringing a lot more extra stuff. We kind of started to figure this thing out a little bit now. We're really excited. We're back from summer break. Olympics didn't really do too much for us this year. It wasn't much fun without any fans or anything there. I'm more of a Winter Olympic guy anyway, as opposed to summer. And Team USA basketball kind of sucked, so it wasn't fun betting them. I did take, I think it was Iran plus 101 points in one of the games, and Iran did not cover the game. Ironically enough, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Fully aware.
So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not betting on the damn Olympics. This sucks." But we will be back now. The sports are coming back for us. College basketball won't be too far away.
Like 80 days.
We're getting there for college basketball for our boy Billy here. NBA will be back soon enough for me. Hockey will be back for both of us, more so the puck master himself, Billy the Kid.
Mr. 60%, baby.
That's our boy there. So we'll have a lot of fun coming up. We're really excited to get season 2 started for everybody.
Listen, here's a quick word of advice before we go. Whatever Morgan says about the Eagles, just fade his pick all year. It's that simple. He's never won a bet when
we don't bet on our home team. We don't bet on our home team.
No, I don't. You do.
We're a new man. Season 2.
Okay.
It's a new beginning.
I'll see you week 1.
Season 2, a new beginning. I'm gonna have new background every time. New Chiron when you introduce my name and everything. It's gonna be my quote of the season right there. Lock it in. We are Big Thick Dicks, and season 2, a new beginning.
All right, close this out.
Yes. So, like I said, we're gonna have some great stuff coming for us. But as usual, for those of you who have not listened to us, watched us before, these two fine-looking guys, you can find us all over the place. You know, Billy's got the nice little scrub, got the Alpha shirt on. I decided to cut my hair for you guys this year. Got to try to change the mojo a little bit. Yeah, you like that. I saw that little wink right there. He's this man. He knows how to pump up his boys. You can find both of us. You can find us at Betting the Diagonal on Twitter. We will be back posting picks almost every day, if not every day. It's getting into the Degenerates season real fast. Yes. Individually, you can find me at MoWatts26, where I will be posting picks up there. I will also have just my fun shenanigans that I love to talk about. Billy, where am I going to find you at?
You can find me at BillyFFD. You can also find me at FFD_podcast on Twitter, because that's where I spend majority of my time during football season. I'm tweeting for them, which is the sister, us, I should say. It's my other podcast about fantasy football. Every episodes come out every Wednesday. This at Ben and Diagonal. Morgan, we got to get you on the Twitter a little bit more. To get you active, teach you how to use it the right way.
I'm learning. I will be back viewing it the correct way more so this time. I'm going to come back in hot and heavy soon.
But mainly follow me at BillyFFD, because I put out some fire content and nobody sees it.
He's not wrong. He's got less than 100 followers.
I have less than 100 followers and some of the best tweets out there.
He might be the only interaction he gets comes from me and Jared, possibly. But you know what? Like I said, we pump the boys up. We gas up our boys constantly.
Yes, sir.
If you want to follow someone with some more followers, come follow me. I got quite a bit more, but we're here for each other. We look out for each other constantly. We promote one another's content that we have out there. Like I said, keep a lookout. We will have 2 episodes out for you guys pretty much every single week, barring death or taxes or COVID or something that just kills us or anything. But we're resilient. We don't die. We're degenerates. We're like cockroaches. We crawl out of those rocks and everything. Billy, it's great to be back. Season 2, a new awakening. Big Thick Dicks, new dawn. We're here to stay. Degenerates, all of you out there, we love you. Thank you for being back with us this season. We can't wait. We'll see you next week.